Player 2 has entered the podcast.
Welcome back, people, to Player 2 Has Entered the Podcast, that show about video games, nerd stuff, and two friends catching up for the week. I am your co-host, Michael, aka MC Paperstacks, and with me, as always, is my co-host, with the co-most,
Derek, aka Full Metal Merc. Ooh, baby, good to be back for another week.
The excitement you have when we come back to do a show, it's somewhere between sexual and I don't know. Like, I don't know the energy. It throws me off every, you're like, oh baby, good to be back.
Baby, good to be
And I'm like,
back.
why though?
Talk to all my sexy people out there.
Whenever you talk like that, it reminds me of that picture you sent me. Remember that particularly good pickup where you covered yourself in all the cheap games that you found and you had an O face? I'm doing something with that picture aside from putting it to one of our podcast episodes. I'm going to do something else with it. I don't know yet, but I have an idea. So
Okay.
Look forward to that, sir. And you folks at home, maybe I'll put it on Facebook or something. I don't know.
Don't hurt me.
We're best friends. I'll be nice, but also I'm definitely going to do something with it. I've been having deep thoughts this week about Deep Thoughts. Our new show. We're not doing an episode today, not because we didn't have quotes. There's always quotes. I was just too lazy to think of one. So, hey, listeners, if you like Deep Thoughts and you have a few quotes you want us to tackle, let us know. I'm confused about what it is. It's not taking shape, and all the feedback I've gotten about it so far is, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
I was kind of inspired by Call It Like I Don't See It's Positive Chakra, but I wanted to do a video game version. And I also really like JB Smooth's podcast, where Miles tries to take the quote seriously and JB Smooth goes off on a weird tangent. And I feel like we have that energy. You know, I'm like the old Jewish man who's trying to take it seriously, and you're the goofy comedian who's being like really silly with it. I think that's like a good energy, but I don't know if that's where we're taking it or that's just where it's landing. I don't know what we're doing.
We'll see. We'll figure it out, or we'll hit the cutting room floor.
Or we'll drop it. Yeah. Do you have deep thoughts about Deep Thoughts?
I don't have deep thoughts about Deep Thoughts. It's just,
Do you like it? I kind of like the idea.
Yeah, I like video game quotes. It's just maybe just need to iron out the kinks, figure out a different way to incorporate it besides. What do you think about it? What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think about this quote?
Yeah.
I think it means this. Back to you, Bob.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I've been hanging out mostly solo dolo this week. Well, not mostly, I guess, since around Wednesday. My family had a family thing, and then the family had to go to the family thing in Hotlanta. So I've been living it up, risky business style, here at the house.
Yeah.
Without the prostitution ring. Did you know that movie was about a prostitution ring?
I've never seen it. I only know the one scene.
It's not just Tom Cruise sliding around his underwear. There was some real shit going down in that movie. That's the risky part of the business. I guess the business part too, if you think about it. So no risky business per se. I mean, lots of me not wearing pants, of course. But I mean, is that really any different from when the family is here? I'll leave that to your imagination. So. Anyways, I was targeted by an ad. Hulu dropped a new movie today, and I decided to watch it. It's a thriller called No Exit. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's like a bottle film. You know, your typical, it's a snowstorm, and I have to be in this building with these other people I don't know. And then suspense, something happens, and one person might be a bad guy.
Like The Mist.
And yeah. An Allstate guy is there. And you are not in good hands when it comes to No Exit. So I dug it. It's not perfect. I was trying to talk to you about it earlier, and I think I mentioned that I feel like it's a good screenplay with an okay director. I feel like with a different director, it could have popped even more. But the writing and kind of through line of the characters and everything is pretty solid. So even with your most basic, fresh out of film school baby director, it will come out to be an interesting or entertaining film. And that ended up being what it was. So if you got Hulu and you like thrillers or bottle films, if you like, like 10 Cloverfield Lane or The Hateful Eight without the crazy part at the end, or Clue without the comedy, it's pretty good. I dig it. So
I might check it out.
Yeah. So you had some stuff to say about one of your consoles, if I recall.
Yeah, so I recently picked up an OLED Switch.
Now you already got one for the wife, right?
Yeah, I already got one for the wife, and she scratched it like almost immediately
Oh
along the
no.
top. But it's all good. I got my tempered glass on there.
Okay.
I got my Joy Cons from my
Why didn't
old
you get
Switch.
her tempered glass?
Oh, it came. I got her tempered glass too. Don't worry about it. It's a 3-pack.
Okay, well you said she scratched it.
Well, they didn't have tempered glass for it when it first came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That's the
hmm
trouble with being an early adopter, man. They just ain't got stuff you need right away.
So yeah, but I got the OLED, and oh my god, it looks so good. The colors just pop. I've been playing one game in particular that I'll talk about later on it, and it just looks even more beautiful on the OLED.
Mm,
Like it's mm. There's not really much to say about it besides that the colors really pop and it looks beautiful. If you had a Vita back in the day, the
hmm
original model, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just a beautiful OLED screen. I stand by it when I say the Switch is basically the Vita 2 without the Sony games.
Yeah. Which, who knows? Who knows how that may end up?
Yeah,
For all these
right.
gaming acquisitions, who knows? Well, cool. Do you think I should get an OLED? Because I feel like it's still not worth it if it's just a pretty screen.
I think if you play mostly handheld,
Mm,
it's a nice little upgrade. Like it's not a huge deal, but that bigger screen
hmm
and the brighter colors, I think it was well worth it. Especially if you just sell your old one. Sell your old one for 250,
hmm
300.
I can sell my old one for 300.
Probably. Shit. Throw a couple games with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe we'll talk offline about that. You know how to wheel and deal better than I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I am like 30% sold on the OLED. Maybe we can get the rest of the 70%.
Okay.
I think we talked about this on one of the previous episodes we have about that Cuphead show coming out on Netflix.
hmm
And it did drop, and I got a chance to watch a few episodes. I was actually hanging out with Ben when I watched a few last weekend, and I dig it. I thought it would follow the plot of the game more closely because in the very first episode, you do run into the devil character, but under completely different circumstances.
hmm
And you set up a rivalry. But then every episode I've seen since then, and I've seen like I think maybe 3 or 4 out of the first season, are self contained and it doesn't have him in it. And they're not out trying to collect souls for the devil. Right.
Ah.
So it's more like wacky hijinks. It's a show that obviously imitates 30s animation. It's not as authentic as the game was as far as the number of hand drawn frames and the analog sound, but it imitates that style. And then the writing and the direction of the show itself very much reminds me of situational comedy cartoons that you and I would watch in the 90s.
Yeah, like Tom and Jerry type stuff.
Yeah. Like it's inspired by older cartoons, but it's got that kind of 90s sensibility.
hmm
And for the most part, it's actually pretty good. I enjoy it. It's not
Okay.
like blowing me away or anything, but if you're already a fan of Cuphead, it's cool to see different characters from the game show up. Yeah, I'll be finishing it. A lot of other people I hear really like it. Again, I don't think if you're not into classic cartoon shows, and you haven't played Cuphead, I don't really see the need to go seek it out. But if you are a fan of the game and or those types of shows, it's giving you what you want. So
Okay. Cool.
there you go. All right. So big week for video games. What
Oh
have you been
yeah.
playing this week?
Oh my goodness. So on my OLED Switch, the first game I pop in, Hades. Because I
Hades.
still haven't defeated Hades. In fact, I've had my ass kicked 2 times by Hades since I got
Only
my
two,
OLED
huh?
Switch. Well, yeah, because I've
Oh.
only gotten to him twice. I've only played enough to get to him twice.
How many times have you died in that game overall? Do you know? Check your stats on that.
I think I'm on like run 28 or something like that.
Okay. You might be close. I think if I recall, and this could be outing myself as a terrible gamer, but all the evidence is on my YouTube channel for my Twitch uploads. But I think like around run 30 something, I ended up beating Hades. But there's lots more game after that, buddy. So
No.
don't think just because you beat Hades that you've done anything.
But I mean, technically, if I beat Hades, do I beat the game?
No.
No.
Nope.
I don't want to play anymore.
The story continues.
No. Like, do credits roll after you beat Hades?
There's the whole mystery about why you're trying to escape in the first place, who you're trying to see, and then you got to get to know them, and there's a hook and a story reason for having to go back through. And the cool part is, even when you do finish the story, they come up with another reason for you to continue to play if you want to. And at that point, I feel like you can say you're done.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's fun. It's
it is fun. It's just waiting for that right combination of boons and upgrades for when I get to Hades. Is like, that's the thing.
If you're putting the right points into the mirror and using the right trinkets, that stuff's going to show up a lot more often than you think.
Yeah.
You think you've unlocked pretty much everything there is to see. You have not.
Yeah. Like, I love Athena's boons that let you deflect projectiles, because that's like, you absolutely need that, I feel, if you want to get through it. But
yeah, that's baby shit. You need to get on with Demeter and Dionysus.
I get them
Dionysus. Festive Log, boy. Just dropping like big mists of like damage.
Yeah.
Dude. And then duo boons, when you start combining boons with two different gods, it's over. And that'll happen more frequently. It'll be pretty wild. So
yeah, I used to be scared to go into a door with two boons because you have to fight the other god.
That's not what I mean when I say
that's not even what you mean. Jesus Christ!
No, I mean literally two boons that are combined.
Ooh,
they come in together to talk to you and go, we thought you would like this boon that we, and it's just two of theirs put together to make something new.
We made a nice little boon baby for you.
Yeah, that's right. And a little boon baby. And you got legendary boons, and you've got characters you haven't even met yet whose trinkets will wildly change the game.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
okay.
Yeah. You have not opened that. You have not opened it up even a little if you haven't beat Hades yet. Sorry. I don't want to tell you.
Damn it. Well, I guess that's going back on the back burner. I played a bit of Transformers Fall of Cybertron on 360.
Okay.
I don't remember if I beat this game before. I know I beat War for Cybertron, but this game is really fun. And only reason I was playing is because I was testing it out because I was listening it. And then I was like, damn it. Now it's listed. And then it sold. I was like, damn it. I'm having fun playing this. It's basically just a third person Transformer game. You can transform into a vehicle on the fly. It all takes place on Cybertron. So it's not like, oh, you're rolling around in the woods on Earth or whatever. It's all like just metal and gunfire and yeah, exactly. It's real 80s metal, baby. And
I liked what was it, Devastation, the one that I think Platinum made that?
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one too.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Actually, I like this one better though.
Yeah. I don't think you're the first person to say that either. Do you think maybe it's backwards compatible with Series X? Were you playing on Series X?
No, I was playing on a 360.
Oh, okay. I wonder if it's in the store. Might be one of those $5 boys. You can get it for, on the like a digital copy.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, them frame rates. Oof.
Oh, they're bad?
Yeah. It's so crazy, like going back and playing older stuff, and it's like, damn, we used to accept this. This used to be like okay.
Moving pictures, slideshow.
Right. It's what we had. But let's see what's next. Pokemon Legends Arceus. What can I say? I 100%ed that Pokédex.
You can say Arceus, I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it right. I'm gonna say it right.
Yeah, you got on board.
I'm not, yeah.
You said you finished your decks?
Yep, I completely finished it with a little help from you.
Oh, we get by with a little help from our friends. I finished mine with a little help from you.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah, I finished my well,
sweet.
I have all seen and all caught. I have around 39 Pokemon I need to bring up to Pokédex level 10 in order to like complete level 10 entries. Although I need to get my Darkrai back from you because I loaned you Darkrai since you didn't have a Brilliant Diamond or a Shining Pearl save.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's going to count or not. I would hate for them not to give me my damn Shiny Charm because they're like, well,
it's not going to count.
You didn't Darkrai, so technically
it's not going to count because I didn't have Darkrai when I got the Shiny Charm.
Oh, okay, nice. That's cool. I still want my Darkrai back.
I'm gonna give it back.
You better.
Easily the best Pokemon game ever made. To me.
Yeah, I mean, what more can we say?
Yeah, I mean, even after 100%ing it, I will say that, and this isn't usually like a negative, but a lot of reviewers and stuff make it a negative. Not much to do after you finish the game. So when you're done with the game, you're done. But it's
I
like, yeah, you're done with the
disagree.
game.
I disagree. I disagree. All right, what do you mean when you finish the game?
When you finish the game.
Well, because you finished it.
Yeah, I know.
Why would there be anything to do? You finished it.
Exactly. But I'm saying a lot of like reviewers and stuff will say things about games where, oh, once you beat the game, there's not much to do. There's not much replayability. It's like, well, that's the experience. That's it. Like
Yeah.
everything doesn't have to, go on and on and on and on.
You can roll credits, and then of course you get a bunch of extra stuff to do, right? To go after all the legendaries, which we've done, which is why we got our Pokédex done. And you're right, there's no metagame where you're going against other trainers, and I know a lot of people are kind of upset about that. I get it, although I think that allowed them to be more simple with the design and make it more single player focused, which I'm a fan of. However, two things on that. One, you think we're not getting DLC for this game?
Oh, we're definitely getting DLC, and I'm
definitely
paying for
getting DLC. Two, and I actually do find this fun. I know you may not, but you could get perfects on all the Pokédex entries.
Yeah.
And you could go after the shinies.
Yeah.
Those are two things that you can do that will extend the gameplay greatly. Tremendously. Now, whether or not it becomes grindy and boring up to a certain point, that is going to fall on one gamer to the next. Obviously, I might have more of a lid limit for that type of gameplay than, say, you would, but there's something to do. They actually did put it in there. And it's the cool because there's something to do, but it doesn't feel like you're leaving something on the table if you decide not to pursue it. Like you, at this point, like you said, you can definitively say, I'm done with the game and feel good about it.
Yeah, after you roll credits that first time, that's fake.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Those are fake credits.
Fake ass
credits. I almost put the game down. I was like, yeah, roll credits.
Man, you really haven't played a Pokemon game in a while.
Like, did I though? I'm going to have to keep playing.
You gotta have to keep playing.
Because there are some games like that where I can be like, okay, I'll put it down, I'm done, fuck it.
Let me ask you, Baggin, the Bag End, Mr. Baggins. I don't know what his name is.
Baggins!
How? Shia Baggins! We got to focus. Okay, the bad guy. You pay him increasingly extortive.
Oh, you're talking about...
extortion.
You pay him lots of money.
You pay him increasingly dumb, large amounts of money. How much money did it cost to expand a bag when you finished?
Oh, I didn't do it all the way.
I know. How much money did it cost?
Probably like 16,000.
Wow, really? You got through with just only the 16,000?
Yeah.
My cost for the next expansion to my bag is 300,000.
Damn.
300,000.
Ass.
I'm not here like
I get one of everything in my shit.
Jeff Bezos plotting to try to take over this economy so I can get the money I need to expand my bag, man. It's hard out here. So I don't know how far it goes. Maybe it goes into infinity and beyond. Maybe it's just like, you got $1 million, I'll take it. Really?
Right. Yeah, that's
if I ever do reach a limit, I will let you know, because I have not gotten close to reaching the end of my play session. I'm over 100 hours in. I'm going a little quicker because I want that shiny charm, but still just moseying along.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even say 77 hours is how long it took for me to
for you.
100. Yeah. To me, the bare minimum 100%.
If I focus more on just getting to 10 and moving to the next Pokemon, which I kind of wish I had done, because then I would have higher chance to catch shinies throughout the game. I would go back and do that. But what I did is I was just focused on perfecting entries as much as I could, and then moving on to the use of another Pokemon.
Very beginning of the game. Okay, Bidoof, let's get to using that tackle 40 times.
It's probably why I have 2 shiny Bidoofs. Like, let's be real. I got shiny Starly, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's not without its merits, but at the same time, that did then put a lot of it, like backloaded a lot of this chasing down of the decks. And again, I'm not mad about it. I'm having fun. I can't wait to get back to it. Can we just quit the show now? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Right. Why don't we just
play games right now?
And then just talk to each other about it later.
Yeah, gosh. We should play video games while doing the podcast. That would be the most unfocused, boring.
Oh, yeah. It definitely would. Especially
click,
my
click,
ass.
Click, 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 click.
Because I block out everything when I'm playing a game.
Yeah, I know people they're probably pretty sick of hearing us talk about Arceus, so I'll probably cool off moving forward, I'll just kind of play it in the background unless I hit some kind of significant milestone. I will just mirror your sentiment. Best Pokemon game, in my opinion, so far. The bar wasn't very high, which is unfortunate, but I mean, the game is solid. I feel compelled to use the alpha Pokemon because they just seem stronger and they usually have more rare moves I don't have to buy. But then you kind of miss the joy of having like the tiny Pokemon, like tiny little baby Chanseys with the little eggs. And, they're really cute. And I just wish that there was a smaller Pokemon, like kind of like alphas, but in reverse, like runs maybe, or
beta Pokemon.
Beta or beta. Yes, we need beta Pokemon. Okay, all right. And then I want a Pikachu to come out in a fedora and tell us about how Sigma Pokemon are even better than Alpha Pokemon. Pokemon Red Pill or Blue Pill.
Right.
Speaking of the two versions, I really do hope that moving forward they stop with that particular grift, because it is a grift. Like, stop it. We don't need two different versions. I get it back in the Game Boy days, but why the fuck are you selling us two different versions of the same game even now?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a little ridiculous.
Just give me that third version immediately.
Yeah, we don't need, just stop it with the two versions. Everybody hates that. Like, we're gonna trade either way. You and I trade a shit ton. We had the same version. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, so Mario Party Superstars, played that with the family a couple times this week. And Nora actually won.
Hey!
Yeah, she had more stars than everybody. And, there was a little help here and there. I was like, you want to buy this golden warp pipe? Yeah. Okay. You want to buy this golden warp pipe? Okay, yeah. And then she won. And she was so excited. Like, she was screaming, like, yeah! Running around the room. I was like, oh, my baby won Mario Party. It's the most beautiful thing. And she, like, gets so sad, like, when she loses a mini game. But I'm like, you're still in first place, though. It's okay. Like, she's like, oh, but I wanted to win. I don't like losing.
Losing is tough.
And I'm like, it's okay, baby. It's okay.
Part of life.
But that was real fun, real sweet moments. And lastly, the big one. Horizon Forbidden West.
Horizon chicken.
Horizon. It
ain't
chicken.
over.
It ain't over. The fat chicken.
We're gonna ride that joke into the ground, people.
Horizon.
Into the ground. Horizon chicken.
Forbidden breast.
Oh, no.
Rice chicken forbidden breast. There we go.
If that wasn't so long, that would be the podcast title. That's way too long.
But yeah, let's see. Let me start with graphics. It looks amazing. Like, it looks incredible. And the character models are really well done. The voice acting is top notch. Like, I find myself hanging on every word. Watching the characters interact with each other is super dope. Like, they look really good. Like, the black people in this game look like black people.
That's nice.
They don't just look like white people with black skin. They don't look like blackface characters, basically.
Yeah. They're not all creative characters from Monster Hunter. That's nice.
Or like Pokemon Legends. Like, it's literally just...
Yeah, they took the same derpy face and just put black skin on it. No, Japan.
Yeah. No, stop it. Bad Japan.
Stop it. Bad Japan. Fuck is wrong with you?
The melee is a little bit janky.
You shoot the pieces off the monsters, and then you use the pieces to make other stuff to shoot more pieces off the monsters.
Although I do love shooting pieces off of monsters.
It's good stuff.
There's some I don't remember if this is in the last game or not, but you can, like, there's some enemies that have like acid or fire, and you can use acid arrows or fire arrows to cause a chain reaction and kill them faster. Or
you had that in the original game.
Okay. Yeah, I played it so long ago. I played it when it came out, so I was like, ugh.
No, I recall there being like different elemental attacks, like you said, like different arrowheads. So that was a thing. But that's cool, man. You're enjoying it. Is it the critique I heard? I think Donkey was talking about this. Did you see Donkey's video on it?
I didn't watch it because I don't want to see any possible spoilers.
That's wise. I don't think he did spoil it, but the critique he had, and the thing that's kind of made me go, maybe I should wait, because I liked Horizon Zero Dawn, but I didn't love it as much as everybody else did. I was like, this is another open world game
Hmm.
done maybe like a hair above your average Ubisoft or Ubisoft or Ubisoft. I'm gonna call it
Hmm.
Ubisoft. A hair above your average Ubisoft, and that's cool and everything. But I've played so many, and the critique he had is it just feels literally like more Horizon in every single way. It does not feel iterative or anything that really sets itself apart from its predecessor, other than like shiny new graphics. And
Hmm.
clearly, with the amount of gameplay I've put into Arceus, I do not give a shit about graphics.
Right.
That's not what brings MC Paper Stacks to the yard. They're nice, don't get me wrong. I enjoy them, but to me, a satisfying gameplay loop and interesting story, different stuff like that. Based on the original Horizon, it was a cool concept and everything. It's just it never lit my world on fire. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
had way more fun playing Breath of the Wild that year than I had Horizon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I mean, the story for me is pretty interesting. I haven't gotten that far into it. I'm maybe like 4 hours into the game, so I haven't really done a whole lot.
Would you say that the story is more interesting than the first game so far?
No, because the thing about the first game was there was a mystery as to what the fuck is going on in this world. Like, is this our Earth? Where are these robots coming from? Who is Aloy? Who's her mother? Like, all that stuff was like infinitely more interesting than I gotta find this thing so that I can save the world again.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's gonna open up and there's gonna be more to it, but I don't know if the story is gonna top the first one for me.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, it looks great. It is more of the same though. I'm not gonna lie about that one. It is more of the same. But I like the original game. I didn't love it,
Yeah,
but it was a good one. So I'm gonna play through this. I think that Guerrilla Games deserves my monies because they put out quality titles. So
sure. Yeah. And if it wasn't for the fact that we're on the eve of so many big, big, big titles, I might be going after it too. But I think I'm gonna hold off
hmm.
and save my gaming time for other titles and maybe kind of pick this one up when it drops in price a bit.
Hmm.
And again, like you said, there's a lot of people who are a big fan out there and they want more of the same and they're probably very happy right now. So please, if you're listening to me talk blase about the game, there's no judgment coming from me. It's probably a fantastic game. Please don't get mad. It's okay if I don't like the thing that you like. It's okay.
Yeah.
So no hate mail, please.
The last thing I'll say is that it is buggy.
Yeah,
It's pretty buggy. Like I'm not I don't know
pretty
what to say.
buggy.
Like it's not like game well, I did have one side mission that I couldn't complete because the NPC was just laying on the ground
Hmm.
indefinitely and I couldn't talk to him to continue the mission. I'm thinking maybe when I load up my save again I can go back and talk to him, but there's a lot of clipping, there's a
Hmm.
lot of characters sounding like they're in a bathroom stall when they speak or like they're in an
Ooh.
auditorium, like their voices are like woo, like you can hear the echo but they're
Yeah.
outside.
There's a lot of
It's
wah
very
wah.
weird. It happens a lot.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it happens a whole lot. So
Oh
it takes me out of
no.
it just a little bit.
How much talking is in this game? Is there like a lot of dialogue?
There's a lot of dialogue if you choose that.
Oh no.
Like you can talk to a character and they'll say, "Oh, there's this problem over here." And then you have like three options to choose from, two of them of which are optional. One of them just continues the through lines like, "Oh, well, I got to go. Tell me where the thing's at. Okay, it's over here. Okay, bye."
That's a concern. You don't understand. I'm from the school of Mass Effect. I'm from the school of like classic BioWare RPGs where if you don't read everything, you miss out on crucial options.
Hmm.
And even knowing, which I mean, you haven't told me this yet, but I'm assuming, let me know if I'm wrong. Knowing that these optional dialogue, like skipping them, I wouldn't miss anything if I skip them. I
Hmm.
probably would still go through them just based out of fear and habit because I don't want to miss maybe like, oh, well, since you decided to talk to me extra, there's also a hidden treasure over this way.
Oh, I don't
Or
think there's any of that.
here's an extra option where you don't even have to go over and do the quest. You can just intimidate me and I will give you the thing right away.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like your
Yeah.
Fallout type stuff.
Yeah.
So the more dialogue a game has that's superfluous, that can really tire me out because it's so hard for me to skip it. And then when I do start skipping it, I just have that nagging feeling that I'm leaving something on the table, and then that
Hmm.
also hampers my enjoyment, unfortunately.
Yeah,
My
it is.
brain is weird.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
is. You're a
It is.
weirdo.
I have a weird brain.
Yeah, but that's what I've been playing this week, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're having fun. I am. Like that sounds awesome, man. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, and then like, kind of getting your overall thoughts as you plug away through it. Is that going to be like your main for a while, you think?
Yeah, like right now I'm at the point where I'm doing side quests
Mm.
like as they show up, but I'm sure that like halfway through the game we'll be like, okay, let's just finish this fucking story and get it done with, because I get burnt out pretty quickly in these open world games.
I feel you on that, dude. I've played so many
Yeah.
open world games. I can't even.
Mm, mm,
All
mm.
right. Well, speaking of open world games, I continue to play Cyberpunk 2077 on PS5, and I had a notion, and I forgot to mention this last week. On my PS5 game, I started a brand new file, and I decided that I would not fire a single shot of my gun. I would not press
Mm.
the right trigger at all. Swing no melee weapons. Punch no fisty fists. No shooty bang bangs.
So how do you get through the game?
Well, I'm gonna let you know. I'll let you know right away. I'm gonna go through the game entirely with big brain, netrunner skills, big brain.
Mm.
Okay, your short circuit, your overheat. Now this is interesting. I thought it wouldn't be too hard. In the very first mission that you do with Jackie after the whole montage and everything, and I had already done Street Kid first and then Corpo for my stream, so I picked the Nomad intro.
Hmm.
It's easily the worst one. It's very boring. You like drive through a town and then get into a car chase. You got in a car chase with Jackie at the end of the first main mission, so it's like, okay.
Mm.
I hate to say it because if you pick Corpo, you're a narc, but the Corpo opening chapter is the best one for sure. Anyways, so when you do the first mission, you have to rescue that lady. You find her in the bathtub. I snuck up behind people, and again, you press square to silently take them out. So I'm not breaking any rules. I made sure not to get caught, because if I did, I might get in trouble, because I don't have any
Right.
direct attacks with my netrunner abilities at this point yet, right?
Hmm.
So I get through the whole stage. I sneak up on everybody, completely silently take them out. I'm good to go. And then when we're driving back, bad guys from the area start to chase us, and Jackie's like, "Pull out your gun and shoot them." And I'm like, "Oh no." Is this where the run ends? You know what I mean? Like, did it end right here? And then I went into my Netrunner options, and I didn't see anything. And I kept trying to target them. And he's like, "Shoot your gun." And I'm like, "I can't." and, and then we got to the point where I could target the driver, and I did. And I had the reboot optics option. So I blinded the driver and caused him to slam into the side of a building, effectively ending the car chase.
Nice.
Whew. Yeah. So from there, I was able to get free after, waking up in the apartment. I went straight to a Netrunner store, went to the Ripper Dock, got my stuff, got the Netrunner upgrades for I think the first thing I got was Short Circuit, I think it's called. It's the one where you can shock robots or humans, because they have, obviously they got augments and stuff.
Hmm.
And then Overheat, when I could afford that, I grabbed that and just started, shocking and overheating people. And it was very slow, because at the beginning, my damage, until I put enough perks into things, was very, very minimal. So I shock somebody, they start looking around. I just wait and watch my little RAM tick up
Ugh,
very slowly, and then
gross.
shock. But yeah, the first few fights were so boring. But eventually I got enough money, enough street cred to get a better cyber deck. Then I got higher grade attacks. And now I'm just one and two shotting everybody without them even seeing me. It is
Hmm.
awesome and stupid, and it's really not the way that the game is meant to be played. But I'm going to try to beat it without firing a shot. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Hmm.
If you could give me a good reason not to, I would very much appreciate it.
I mean, you
Help
could
me.
be the first person to do
Help
that.
me. You're not
No,
helping me.
I'm not helping you.
You didn't help at all. You did the
You've
opposite.
done
You
this to
made it.
yourself. Self-inflicted.
Damn.
They say that in Horizon a lot. Self-inflicted.
They should call it Ben Shapiro'd self-own. My wife doesn't get wet at all. That's a medical condition. Women don't get wet. There's some whores in this house. So I guess that covers video games that we've played. Hey, one thing I want to mention, I don't want to hold this to the end of the show, even though most of the time we do promotions at the end of the show. we were on the Gamer Parent Strategy Guide podcast recently,
Yeah.
and that episode dropped this past week. So you can go and listen to it right now if you want, and I will leave the link to the show in our show notes. Why you might be interested in listening to this particular episode, we talk all about just gaming on a budget and ways to save money through used games, physical games, digital games, everything you and I know collectively. I don't think we laid all of our cards on the table, like
I don't think we
specifically the
did.
trick about,
Yeah.
getting $50 games, $10 off at Walmart, stuff like that. But we talked a lot about different ways to save money and things that you can do. And then we capped off that episode with 5 games that were really big milestones for each of us. And I listened back to the episode this week and it was really solid. I really enjoyed that
Oh,
discussion.
good.
So for y'all out there, if you're fans and you like to hear more of us, there's more of us actually out this week that you can listen to aside from this episode. So look in the
Nice.
show notes and check him out. Check his show out. I like his format. His is very episodic. He has very
Yeah.
particular subjects in mind. So depending on the subjects that interest you or don't interest you, you can hop around his show and find those topics and listen in on the streamers he brings on, the people that have written books about different issues relating to the gaming community. It's good stuff. So
Yeah,
hopefully
he's
you'll
a
check
great
that
guy.
out.
Great guy.
He's a very great guy. All right, so let's get into gaming news. Gaming news. Again, somewhere between sexual and I don't know.
That one was between sexual and having a shit.
I was like, I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it, but you said it. All right, here we go.
I say everything.
You will. A Pokemon Presents is coming up. Actually, it's out today. If you're listening to this on the day that this episode drops, Sunday. It may have already been played out. So Sunday, February 27th, 2022 at 9 a.m. Eastern, 14 minutes of Pokemon Presents. You thought you got all the Pokemon you could need with Arceus, but they got more for you. Anything you want to see at this Pokemon Presents?
Pokemon Legends Arceus DOS.
Yeah.
DOS.
DOS.
I want
to see DLC.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
I definitely want to see DLC, and I don't want to see anything else.
I feel like that's so soon though. Like that game just dropped.
I know. I want more DLC.
And I know that Nintendo can do whatever they want, but that's just that seems like a kick in the face. It's like,
no, it isn't.
This game, no, it isn't. Well, it's like the game just came out, and you had DLC that's literally done going to be done 3 months after, or however long after.
Yeah, they can announce DLC that they're working on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that it would be a surprise to anybody if they were planning it, because I think they all knew they had a hit on their hands. Like,
right.
Nintendo knew this game was going to be well received. I truly believe that. And I mean, we got a full game. Like, it does not feel like they carved anything out of this game. We got 242 Pokemon, 240 if you don't have save files from the previous Pokemon games. That's a lot. That's a lot for any individual Pokemon game.
Almost 80 hours for me for a Pokemon game is absolutely unheard of. And I know there are some people that put hundreds of hours. Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, in there.
I would love a Gold and Silver remake.
Let's go. Gold and Silver, let's go.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want a Gold and Silver remake.
Let's go Totodile. Woo!
Yeah, Pokemon, let's go Cyndaquil.
Let's go Totodile. Let's go Cyndaquil.
Let's go Tyranitar. But yeah, that's about it. And I know that they've already they're remaking the games. Since they started remaking them with Fire Red, they've just been remaking they did Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Then they did
Omega Sapphire,
Ruby,
Alpha Sapphire, Afro Sapphire.
Then Afro Sapphire. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So what's next, I'm sure, is going to be a black and white remake of some sort. It's like they're not going to go back and it's like, we did that 20 years ago. We're not doing it. We're not giving you another Gold and Silver remake. We already did it.
Do it.
Yeah, do it for me.
Let's go Totodile. That's what I want. Give it to me, Game Freak. You freaks. If you're truly freaky, give me the game I want. Freak me, baby. Yeah. All right. Speaking of freaky, that's a terrible segue. There's nothing freaky about this news. I love it, though. Black Isle Studios on Twitter, developers of Baldur's Gate, have announced that Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 re-release, remaster, whatever you want to call it, is dropping in 2022. More specifically, quote, sooner than you think.
Mm. I'm sure you're excited for that if the original one wasn't such a letdown for you.
I tweeted at them. I doubt they'll see it. I look through the tweets first. I always look through the tweets to see someone saying what I want to say, and then I'll just like their tweet. And if I don't see it, then I'll go ahead and tweet it myself. Everyone was super positive. They were like, yes, this is my childhood. And I'm like, you're uncritical, and this is why we got a bad game. So I reached out and I was like, hey, longtime listener, first time caller, I really enjoyed both games a lot, and I went ahead and I bought the overpriced $30 Dark Alliance re-release, and it was a very lazy port. I wasn't this mean, but to sum
Right.
it up, it was kind of a lazy port, and I'm just wondering, A, are you going to price the newer one more fairly, or are you going to put more effort into the port? Which is it?
Neither. I'll take neither for 500, Bob.
Yeah, take neither for 500, Alex. Likely neither. However, I did go ahead and tweet that out because it must needs be remarked. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Must needs be remarked.
As big as a fan I am, because I did buy it. I bought it, and I don't regret the purchase per se, but I am let down by the quality of that port. It wasn't that great, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was cool to not have to bust out, like component cables and HDMI converters to play my PS2 to play that game. It was cool to go after a few new trophies for the game, which I like doing. It was not cool to go through the gauntlet trying to unlock Drizzt Do'Urden again. They made that harder somehow. I was like, why is this so impossible? But overall, I had a really good time with it. I don't think that they even had online co-op, did they, for the game? If I recall,
I don't
that was
think
one
they
thing that
did.
didn't have.
Yeah, I don't think
What?
they did.
Drop the ball on that.
Yeah.
Why the
drop that
fuck would you
motherfucker.
release a game like that and not have online co-op? So yeah, a little more effort from Black Isle Studios, please.
Birthday parties
Please.
for Mike.
Also, thank you, but please. But I don't really need to worry about that because coming soon, sooner than you think, to me means next month. But next month is pretty packed. We got some
It's a big one.
big games coming in March. We got Kirby in the Forgotten Land,
Ooh.
Triangle Strategy,
Mm.
Ghostwire Tokyo,
Ooh.
Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. We got Grand Theft Auto 5.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
This is my marriage.
Can't wait to see Trevor's peen in that 60 frames ray trace.
Oh yeah. 60 frames.
60 frames of just flapping. Yeah. So if they put it on Game Pass or something, which I hope they do, I'll definitely play it again because I love me some Grand Theft Auto 5, but I'm not gonna go out and drop money on
I'm not gonna play it again.
re-release.
Yeah. It's gotten to a point where it's just utterly ridiculous that they keep re-releasing this shit. Like I haven't repurchased Skyrim at all. Like used I have of course, but not like brand new.
So many copies of Skyrim. I have so many copies.
They have Skyrim in 64.
I would say of all the games coming out next month, Kirby is high up on the list. Like I think that's just a guaranteed good time. Triangle Strategy and Final Fantasy intrigue me. And while I think Ghostwire is going to be a very good game, I think it's probably going to be just Doom mixed with a little Resident Evil, which I think is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's really particularly my bag. Like that's more of a Horizon situation where I'll probably enjoy it. It's probably a very competent game, but does it speak to me as an individual?
I feel you.
Yeah, Kirby, I'm excited about. How about you? What are you definitely playing next month?
Definitely playing Kirby and Ghostwire.
We gotta play Kirby co-op.
Yeah, to the point where I need to hurry and finish with Horizon so that I can play Ghostwire.
Well, Kirby comes out at the end of the month, so we're good there. We'll have to schedule regular time to play together so we can get through it. And then my individual game is either going to be Triangle Strategy or Stranger of Paradise or both, depending on when they release. I think that's kind of what I'm going to be shooting for. So
okay, so I forget. Are you into the Souls type games? Like I know you played Sekiro.
Yeah, I didn't like Sekiro.
You didn't like Sekiro?
No, I do like difficult games as long as they're not constantly kicking you in the dick for losing. You know what I mean? Like Super Meat Boy, I'll play because as soon as you die, you start right back. You just keep trying, right?
Yeah,
They don't.
exactly.
You don't die, and then they go, okay, do the level, but 80% more saws. Fuck
Right.
you. You know what I mean? And Stranger Paradise, from what I've played, seems to be similar. It's like we're not going to kick you when you're down. You're probably going to lose. The game is difficult, but we will give you the chance to get better. We're not going to discourage you from dying and learning through dying. And to me, that's a winning formula. So
Okay.
unlike Elden Ring, which looks exactly like Dark Souls, like it looks exactly like Dark Souls. It may not be exactly like Dark Souls, but it looks exactly like Dark Souls. So I will exactly not be playing it for quite some time, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, I will let you know if I end up greatly regretting the purchase of Stranger Paradise, but I'm eyeballing it for sure. It just looks interesting to me. An edgelord version of the original Final Fantasy, sign me up.
Yeah, I was just
Sign
like,
me up.
Jack, really? That's his name?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm cool.
All right.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's go, Jack.
That's fine.
Put on your
Go
stupid
hit the
tattered
road,
leather
Jack.
jacket. Let's hit it. Let's hit that road. Okay, so what else we got on the news? Oh, speaking of games coming out, Capcom.
Yeah. So Capcom finally announced Street Fighter 6 with a very beefy Ryu CG trailer. There's also
Beefy boy.
the new character from Street Fighter 5. I forget what his name was. I think it's Luke. And he has like
Mm.
big Popeye arms. And yeah, it's a beautiful CG trailer. They're gonna be using the RE engine for this game, which is gonna be interesting to see for a fighting game.
Man, they're getting a lot of mileage out of that fucking engine, yo.
I mean,
You know what?
it's great.
Like the graphic style of Street Fighter now makes a lot more sense now that I think about it. That does look like a very RE engine style.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at his foot and I was like, is that his foot or is that cake? Cut it open. I
Right.
think it's cake.
Yeah, and this will be the first like Street Fighter game that uses this engine. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Ryu is a beefy looking boy. He's got a full
Jack
beard
Black.
and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Everybody's like, that boy's thick.
He's gained a little bit of that COVID weight that we all gained. So
Right, but of course it's all muscle on that man.
oh, of course. He's like, I've been eating nothing but rice. My body tried to get fat, but I wouldn't let it. It just got bigger. Bigger muscles.
Hopefully they learn from their mistakes with Street Fighter 5 and they don't put out like a very bare bones game at first, because it was
Oh yeah, carve it up. Yeah, speaking of like DLC ready as soon as you release the game, right?
it had no campaign, barely any characters. I think Guile was a DLC character or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
I
Like
was
it
gonna
was
mention Capcom specifically when you were expressing concerns about Arceus DLC, and I'm like, look, at least that was a complete game. Like, if you're gonna announce DLC parallel to the game, that game better be complete. It better be 100% for sure complete, no questions asked, right?
right.
Capcom, I mean, and the thing is, they're not the only ones to do this. They may be the first if we go back and trace the roots of it, but fighting games in particular have really suffered from being
They have.
carved up. It's terrible.
I almost don't even like buying fighting games now. I used
Yeah.
to love buying fighting games, like when Street Fighter Cross Tank, even though that had a lot of DLC too. Now I think about it, damn.
You need to wait. Like when a fighting game comes out, just take whatever the release date is, add 2 years. That's when you're getting it.
In the case of Tekken 7, add like 5 years,
Oh my God.
because they just now released like a complete version of Tekken 7 with all the DLC characters. That's ridiculous. I'm like,
That is ridiculous, man.
and they've been getting their money though. People, I don't understand. I don't understand people's buying habits sometimes, which is funny because I sell things to people. But,
Yeah. I mean, I get it. They take advantage of people's love for these series. I mean, what were we just talking about? How I dropped like $10 too much, to be honest. Maybe even $15 too much
mm,
for that Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance re-release. But I love it so much. You know what I mean? And they
yeah,
know that. And they took advantage of me. And I will never forgive them.
I will never forget them. No release date yet. Another thing that was surrounding this teaser trailer was the logo. People are bagging on that logo. It looks like they bought it off of a like a Fiverr type website where it's just a stock SF6 image.
Is the logo an NFT?
Basically.
Is it a non-fungible logo?
Yeah, and they just like changed some of the edges and changed like the six and the six a little bit, and it's like, how much work are y'all putting in? Like, y'all just showed us this dope ass CG, well, maybe in engine trailer, and then this logo is just like It's the plainest thing I've ever seen. Like it's ridiculous. Where are your artists at, Capcom? Where are you?
Just play the thing with kazoos and show the logo.
Right. Street Fighter 6. The King of Fighters 50.
Street Fighter Sweeted. Oh man, what else we got coming out from Capcom?
Yeah, Capcom. Something really awesome that they announced. Capcom Fighting Collection. This is a collection of 10 classic Capcom fighting games.
10 classic fighting games. Like the beat 'em up collection, but for fighting games.
Yeah, it's a good list. So we got Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Savior, the Lord of Vampire.
I'm hearing a lot of Darkstalkers so far. We should call this the Darkstalkers collection, sounds like.
Vampire Hunter 2, Darkstalkers Revenge, okay. Vampire Savior 2, the Lord of Vampire.
That is 50% of this collection. Will you tell me something that isn't Darkstalkers, please?
Red Earth. Red Earth, which was an arcade-only game that I never heard of. There was like a humanoid lion with a sword or something. Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, never heard of it. But
that's good.
Character Jin from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, this is the game that he comes from. And I always wonder where he came from because I used to love playing as him. I was like, does he have a fucking Gundam? Like, what is this guy? But he's from Cyberbots. Super Gym Fighter Mini Mix, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which I love, Super Puzzle Fighter. And Super Gym Fighter is just the Puzzle Fighter character sprites in a fighting game, which is awesome.
Sure.
And Hyper Street Fighter 2. And this is going to be coming out June 24th for $39.99, which is a great price. Like when you think about like these fighting games that come out, especially digitally, each of these games would easily be $10 on the digital store.
But would you want 5 Darkstalkers games? I can't say the word Darkstalkers.
A Darkstalkers game. Play that Darkstalkers.
You play them Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers. You gotta say it real slow. Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers.
But yeah, it is a lot of Darkstalkers. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. But
you said Stalkers.
Darker stalkers.
We can't say it. But yeah, no, I mean, would you? I mean, yeah, you're like saving money if you get them all in the bundle. But that's one of those things where like you'll save if you get all these together, and it's like a bundle of 10. But 8 of the things you wouldn't have bought anyways, so you're actually spending more money because you would have just bought the 2 individually. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to bag on this collection. I'm sure a lot of fighting game fans will love it. It's just it feels so imbalanced. I was expecting more the Cyberbots fighting game like that. You know, and then Red Earth, because I haven't heard of it. Like, I wanted more deep cuts like that to make up the collection. Maybe one Darkstalkers game. I said it correctly.
I'd buy at least 5 of those separately. If they were available. So
okay, so you're saving $10.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth it for me.
Okay,
I'm with it.
June 24th.
Yeah, June 24th. And you had one more piece of news.
Got a couple pieces actually. So on Giant Bomb's podcast recently, VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb, he's a noted journalist in the video game community. I guess I don't really follow him very closely, but he claimed to have obtained new information on Sony's yet to be announced Project Spartacus, that thing we've been rumoring that's going to be their competitor to Game Pass.
Okay.
Jeff claims it's probably getting pretty close to actually launching. He says he doesn't know if it'll necessarily be publicly all at once or if they'll launch, you know, like as an alpha or something like that, or a beta or a sigma. But he said that there's going to be probably pricing tiers. So you're looking at like an essential tier for $10, an extra tier for $13, $16 a month for like a premium version. So the premium version, we wouldn't necessarily get full games. It would be more like EA Play, full game trials. Okay. And he said he wasn't sure if it's going to be for every single game that comes out, but that seems to be more of the focus. He said that you would also get classic games and streaming. The premium tier would be the only one that would have cloud streaming. He wasn't really sure what classic games means yet, you know, as far as like exactly what they're going to be handing out. But that seems to be the gist of it. Game trials, classic games, streaming, all in the premium tier.
All right. Give me them classic games, baby.
For the extra tier, you get like a downloadable game catalog, anything basically on PS Now, What's interesting though is right now it sounds like it would be download only on the extra tier, but a lot of the PS Now games are PS3 games that you can only stream. I don't think PS3 can download and then play natively on PS5.
Mm,
If I'm correct on that.
no,
It's
no.
there's something weird about PS3 when it comes to like, playing on PS4 or PS5. So I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what that's all about. It sounds messy, but it sounds like we're going to be hearing more about it pretty soon. We'll have to I don't know, I have to wait and see.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Because I want to play some classic stuff. I want to play some new stuff. I want to play some stuff on day one. I want to do some Game Pass shit on PlayStation, baby. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. From the rumors and stuff that's coming out, and people can of course look this up. To me, it's not instilling me with a ton of confidence. But again, it's all leaks and conjecture, and I don't know what his sources are. We're just kind of picking through this information as it comes out because it's fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's tempering my expectations a bit, which is probably better than him promising the moon. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other recent thing in regards to Sony, people may or may not have heard of this. There's that horror game that recently came out called Martha is Dead. I think we covered it a little bit when we were talking about the Summer Game Showcase and E3 and all that.
Mm.
But there was this big hoopla about how PlayStation was forcing the developers of Martha is Dead to censor the version of the game that would show up on PlayStation. And, it drudged up the whole like censorship argument, and people didn't really know it was being censored or why. And of course, they're immediately jumping to sides. I largely stayed out of it. But then it was recently revealed exactly what they were censoring. And I found this kind of interesting. So, I don't have like a full list in front of me, but the edits include removing interactivity from graphic scenes. So the scenes are still in the game,
Mm.
but they're no longer interactive. There was a scene where you cut the face off of a corpse and put it on your face. There's a scene where you slice open a dead woman's womb and pull out like a fetus, like it's a miscarriage type
Uh-huh.
reference. There's references to sexual acts, including masturbation, and they kind of remove some text in regards to that and then remove the interactivity from some of those scenes.
Mm.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with censoring it, considering that there's a lot of really questionable stuff that you can still play on PlayStation. I get why there might be pause or why they might want to look more into it, but I feel like they already implemented a much better solution that they didn't have to pair it with this. So what
Yeah.
they also did, which I completely agree with, they made the warning in front of the game a little bit more descriptive and specific. They warn you specifically that there are going to be graphic scenes involving mutilation to women's body, miscarriage, things like that. They warn
Mm-hmm.
the gamers ahead of time, like this is what you're getting into. And they made an option in the menu that you can access anytime, including during said scene, where you can just choose to skip it. So if you're like, that ain't going to bother me, and then you get to the scene, you're like, this is bothering me, you can go into the menu and skip it immediately. I like that.
Yeah.
I do.
That's how it should be.
It sounds like a decent accessibility feature. And again, as someone who's gone through some of the stuff that described, I don't necessarily find it triggering, but I also don't necessarily find it relaxing or pleasant. So
Right.
given the option, I probably would opt out of some of that stuff, to be honest.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
it's cool that they have the option, but for them to like play high and mighty and like force the developer to change their game rather than just adding in options for us to edit it ourselves, you already have that there. Why'd you have to go the extra mile and then like remove what they can already access on PC and Xbox? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
it's it's very interesting. Like we already have the ESRB. We already
mhm,
have, like you said, them putting the warning in front of you,
mhm.
making the developers do extra work because reasons.
Yeah. Well, I would say the option to skip and the disclaimer is extra work. Maybe not a ton, probably more extra work to actually mess with gameplay like they did. And I agree that
Right.
like that's just a bridge too far, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I get the sentiment behind it, but again, a lot of people were jumping on the side of like, don't censor our games, like immediately without hearing about it. If you remember, there was that big hoopla about how they censored Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Show me that crack. Show me that butt
Show
crack.
show me that butt, and I'm like, dude, just go on the internet, get on your phone and Google butt
Right. I want to see video game butt in a moment.
while I'm playing, so I can get distracted and have to pause and go have
Right.
some time with myself, and then come back and play some more.
Right.
Like,
Then
it's
I'll be
just
ready to get that triple SS.
honestly, I would have been happy about stuff like that when I was a kid, especially because, or especially a kid nowadays. Maybe back then that'd be the only way I could see a butt because it was a lot harder to get,
Right.
get access to nudity pre-internet. But if my mom is
But
concerned, like, yeah, but I'd go, I want to get this Devil May Cry game, and she's like, Devil, never mind that. Listen, it's
right,
fine. And she's like, wait a second, there's nudity. I'm like, not on the version I own. It was
right.
edited, and you're like, oh, I guess you can get it. There's no butts. Yes, and then you get to
Yes,
play an
no
awesome game.
buts.
You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's my take. Just saying.
When I did see that they edited the butt, I was like, did they edit the butt? But like, I
They
hadn't
made
played a non-edited like I didn't know it was my first time playing through the game, so I was like, did they edit the J.J. Abrams?
Well, because they did it the way the anime does it. They just like, yeah, they Abrams did. They just lens flared it. And anime does that a lot, where they just make something really bright and shiny and it seems out of place. And you're like, were there
Yeah,
boobies here? I
right.
think there
Or
were
when there's like a
boobies here.
particularly gory scene, it'll be like just darkened. It'll be real
Yeah.
black, and you're like, come on, guys, you're throwing me out of it.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. Because then all you're thinking about is like, what they
What
edited?
am I missing?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got
So
serious FOMO over here, bruh.
no, at this point, if you want to seek it out, you can find it. I feel like warnings and optional edits are really the way to go. But like just taking the choice out of the matter, not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got listener questions this week. So our old friend Ron B, he writes in, and he had a question in regards to Elden Ring, actually. Ron B says, with the release of Elden Ring to absolutely rave reviews, I have a question. You've likely had some discussion about this before, but do you think From Software and other developers who go with the same style are making a huge mistake when it comes to their Souls-like games? Everything about Elden Ring interests me. The story, the massive open world, the exploration, the fact that it's so well reviewed, but the gameplay style means it has the potential to literally take hours to beat one boss, which means I'll likely never play it. It's not the difficulty like a lot of detractors of critics of the games might suggest. I'm just grown. I got kids. I got
Hmm.
responsibilities. I don't have the kind of time to invest in that small of a portion of a single game when there are tons of other games I want to get to. What are your thoughts? He wants to know. What are your thoughts, sir?
I don't think that they're making a mistake because it's been working for them since time immemorial. It's been working for From Software for so long. Their fan base is so hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't believe how many people I heard audibly today when I was out and about say, "Yo, I'm buying Elden Ring. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Elden Ring. Hey, you play Elden Ring? Elden Ring, Elden Ring." And it's just like it's everywhere. Like they don't care. They want to be punished.
Hurt me more.
Right. Exactly. As far as like financially, I don't see a mistake in it at all. As far as like getting new players on board, yeah, because like you got somebody like me who's just like you, Ron. I've got kids, I've got a lot of other things that I have to do besides play your game and get my ass kicked for hours and hours on end. It's just so hard for me to get into them. I tried with Sekiro. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Sekiro, you can parry, do all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. This might be a
Mm-hmm.
bit easier. Dead.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah.
Bloodborne. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. Dead. And it's like, I know these games are amazing. I know they're good, but I just can't do it. And not because I'm not able to put in the work to get good. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I don't want to. There's
Doesn't
no
appeal to you.
benefit for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't appeal to
I
me.
get it. I mean, we play games to have fun, right? We play games
Right.
to relax. We do play the games for the challenge in a way. And I think it depends on what your ratio to all these things are and whether it aligns with a Souls like. I mean, to your point, maybe it doesn't affect them financially as far as they make enough money, but I would say that they would make more money if they did have more universal appeal. But what they may sacrifice is the enjoyment of their hardcore fans and
Mm-hmm.
the loyalty of the people that are there because they know they're going to get that consistent experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a choice to make. And I think at the end of the day, if they're making the game that they want to make and they're making it exactly how they want to make it, and their goal isn't to be universally liked or appealing, but to deliver a very specific experience, that's perfectly fine. I
Mm-hmm.
do, like you, Ron, I am very interested in the aesthetic of Souls-like games, and I lament the fact that I can't get into them as much as I would like to based on my love for the aesthetics. But similar to you guys, it's not really a time thing for me because clearly I can sink a lot of fucking time into a video game. Oh my God. But it is the gameplay versus the reward for, you know what I mean? Like for me, I just feel actively discouraged. I feel like I don't belong. I'm not a
Mhm.
resident of that area. I'm not even a renter. You know what I mean? I don't even occupy like a small portion of the street where I can beg for coins. I do not
Right.
belong there. When I go there, I am constantly reminded I do not belong. And then when I fail, which I'm not afraid to fail in a video game, I am okay with dying or having to try again or having to learn, but it's just the way that the game treats you when you fail. I don't like that it dangles the experience I've gained up to that point and potentially you can lose it forever. I don't
Mhm.
like the example of Sekiro where the whole world gets diseased. I don't enjoy that level of insurmountable difficulty where the reward is just more of it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's one thing to make your game hard, but it's another thing to make it hard, make it nigh impossible to get through without dying multiple times, and then punish you with increasing severity as you die.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's what Elden Ring does, but if it's anything like any of the other Souls-like games, and it seems to be, if somebody wants to be honest with me and tell me I'm wrong, because people have just straight up lied. Like there are people out there that are like, and again, to my particular friend who may be listening, I don't think he does though, because I don't think he listens to gaming podcasts. A friend of mine told me that Sekiro is easier than Ghost of Tsushima on lethal difficulty.
Mm.
And that is a lie straight from the pit of hell. Do you know how I know it's a lie straight from the pit of hell?
Because I
Because I
beat Ghost
beat
of
Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima on lethal difficulty and I had fun doing it the entire time, even if I was dying over and over again on certain duels. I did not enjoy my time with Sekiro once I reached a certain point in the game where it decided that it was done not kicking my ass and
Mhm.
then just didn't relent up to a certain point. So, no, the games unfortunately are not for people who have a certain ratio of gameplay versus struggle. And it's unfortunate, but again, if that's the game that they're making, then no, I don't want them to change what they do. I think it would be cool if they included a difficulty mode, but if it
Yeah.
made
Classic
them,
mode and casual mode.
yeah,
Period.
but if it somehow dampened their spirits to make these games that they love and put a wrench in things, that's the start of a slippery slope, I think, in morale. And they're going strong. They're making games that they love, and you can see a lot of artistry and passion in these games. And
Mhm.
I don't want that to be sacrificed because it's a bit gatekeepy with its difficulty. There's too many other games out there.
I'm excited that I'm not into that I can't get into the Souls games.
Oh yeah,
Because it just means I have time for other games. Like it's just
I guess that's
it's
true.
okay for it not to be for you. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would like a difficulty mode.
Yeah, I do feel the sting of not being able to play them though, because they do look cool as fuck.
They
You know what
look
I
so
mean?
fucking
They look
cool.
so cool.
Especially Bloodborne. I'm like, that looks fucking like the game looks amazing and it plays
Yeah.
amazingly. And I'm just like,
You and I and Ron, we probably have the skill to get through it. We do.
mm-hmm.
I don't doubt that we have the skill to get through those games, but I don't have the mental constitution. I don't. I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
have psychologically what it takes. It is not fun for me, and I play video games for fun. I'm sorry. It's just the way
Yeah.
it is.
What
What it
if
is.
they what if they made like casual mode like DLC? You had to pay for it.
I'd buy it because I already have a lot of Souls games. It would be much for me
Yeah,
to go
it's
ahead and
like
just
for
spend
an
the
extra
extra.
$5, the enemies do less damage,
Yeah,
and also you don't lose all your experience when you die. Literally, those two things,
yeah.
I would play the game.
Hell yeah. Capcom actually does that in a way. For $5, you can buy all the unlockables for like the Resident Evil remake games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think you need to in those cases because I don't think the games are that hard, but some of the post game stuff can be difficult, like the Hunk mission, I think, in Resident Evil 2. So, I mean, it's, if it's something you don't want to waste time on, you could spend the extra money. I don't think that's terrible. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Devil May Cry, you can buy those orbs. 1,000,000 orbs.
I can't do that though, because I'm like, you can get those in the game though.
Play through the game and be good at it.
I don't like purchasing things that make the game shorter. It just feels weird.
Right.
It's like do you want to play this game less? Give us money. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, so To me, like you said, with the Dark Souls thing that you just made up, that's not us playing the game less because we wouldn't play it at all if it wasn't for that. So that purchase makes sense. I'd do it. I would. All right. I think, my goodness, man, that's a show.
That
We
is a
did it.
show.
It's a show.
Yay!
Hey, all right.
We did it.
Well, we'll go ahead and take a quick break to give it up for our sponsor with that pre-recorded ad. I feel like we should re-record that ad.
I feel like we should too. Not today,
Yeah,
though.
not today. Not today. Maybe we'll re-record that ad. Look forward to a different version of that ad that you hopefully skip. Hopefully Anchor's not listening. Skip the ad. It's fine. It's okay. You know you can get a podcast on Anchor. We'll be right back to close it out after these messages. And we're back. All right. Derek, people are wanting to buy video games of all different varieties and difficulties. They want to get the goodies. They want to get the more. How can you help them out with that?
Oh man, they can check out my eBay store at ebay.com/str/gamergoodies and more. I recently picked up some copies of Attack on Titan 2 for PS4, J-Star's Victory Versus for PS4, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for PS4, and Yakuza 0. So those are going to be on the store probably by the time of you guys listening to this. You can hit me up on Instagram at GamerGoodiesMore, and I'm on Twitter at goodies_more.
And don't forget, we upload brand new episodes to our hub at anchor.fm/player2 is enter the pod every single Sunday. But our podcast is also available on other platforms, including Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can find us on all the social medias, including TikTok.com/@player2 is enter the pod, Facebook.com/player2 is enter the pod, YouTube.com/player2 is enter the podcast. Subscribe, follow, like, share, comment, rate, review. It helps so much with that Al Gore rhythm. We need it. Al Gore needs it. He needs rhythm. Help him out. Help us out. If you really want to help us out, go on down to patreon.com/player2 is enter the pod, like our good friend Jordan from the Gamer Friends. Thank you so much, Jordan. We appreciate you. And if you want to contact us directly, you can email us at mcpaperstacks@gmail.com for listener questions, guest suggestions, feedback, etc. We love to hear from our listeners. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you for listening. We love you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.